Today I'll be showing you how to convert a broken storage bench and convert it into a waterfall display. That's correct. Let's get started. So here it is, the broken outdoor storage bench. What we're going to do is we're going to convert it into a waterfall. So on top of that, you can see the pumping tank. The pump is actually located behind the bench, and the pump will drain the water into the tank, and the tank will trickle down the water into the bench. Now the bench itself, you look at from the inside, it's quite dirty, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put a liner inside and outside. It's a PVC pond liner that I'm going to cover the bench with, and there it is, the PVC pond liner 6x8, and we're gonna stable it with a stable gun. So that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm actually taking out the PVC liner and just lay it out flat just to see dimension, and then once I figure out how to orient the PC liner, I then place it on the bench, as you can see there. Just make sure that I cover all the areas that's required, especially inside the bench, because that's where the water will drain into. Make sure I have enough surface area to do that. So it takes a while to to figure it out, but I use basically by estimation, using my eye, and then just push the liner inside, making sure I cover all the corners, and that's about it. And then now what we're going to do next is just stable it along the side of the bench using the stable gun. So make sure that you're happy with how you line it up, and then you just staple the edges, and that's how we're going to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to proceed with cleaning the waterfall pump. This water pump was used last fall, so it contains a lot of debris and dirt in there, so I make sure it's clean and just make sure I wash it well. Okay, so the next thing that I did was adjust the pumping tank to make sure it lines in the middle and that it's lined properly, so the water will actually drain into the bench. So ensuring that the pump holes as well is fitted in properly, and then so the water can drain from the bench into the tank and into back to the bench again. Okay, so the next step that I did was to fill the water into the pumping tank to make sure the water can drain down into the bench properly. As you can see here, this is not aligned properly, it's not level, that's why it's only dripping one side. But once I align it properly, as you can see here, the water is now falling evenly across the tank, and it will fall into the bench properly and evenly, and it looks really nice. Once I figure out that it's properly aligned, then I fill the bench with water, adjusting the tank to make sure that I like the way it's positioned, as you can see. And then there we go, we have a pumping tank that water falls evenly down into the bench. And there you can see the pump is pumping the water from the bench through the holes and into the tank, and then the tank then dripped very nice water flow down, and that's it. There's the final product. And what happened next is that I'm hoping that the vine will cover the black PV lining, and it will look really nice. Notice I put the rock around the bench. Thanks for watching EducateTube.com.